What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Optimize You. This is another episode of Overcoming Myself, where I just talk about my journey to getting into the best place, becoming the best version of myself, developing more self-love, self-belief, all of those different things that I just think contribute to happiness. And I think the big goal and what I've just figured out is I think the main game. So I've been on a journey, as I talked about, I believe it was last episode, I talked about how the first 5 months of this year have been huge growth. I had never grown more as a person in the first 5 months this year. I think it's been more in the first 5 months than it has been my first 28 plus years of my life. And it's been crazy just how when I've invested so much time and money into myself and into spending more time by myself, creating more space, and just working through some of those struggles that I've been going through and making it intention. I think that intention is so huge just on our daily basis, like getting up, having an intention for the day, whether that's like, I'm going to impact two people in a positive way or one person in a positive way, or my sometimes like when I have big client check-in days, it's, I'm going to try to help every single one of my clients move forward in the best way possible. Like that's my intention for the day. Maybe my intention for the day is to learn something. I think that that's huge to have an intention. And this is, I think, quite possibly the biggest moment of my life happened a few weeks ago when I had this dream. And it really unlocked my passion and my purpose in life, which I'll be giving more information on here soon. There's some great things coming here within the next few weeks for my business, for the podcast, all of these different things that have come from this dream. And I think it's come from this dream and also a combination of just me putting in so much work over the first 5 months and going through a lot of struggles and just pushing through and continuing to bulldoze and trying to get down to the nitty gritty, and also understanding that that we have all the answers inside. I've talked about this before on some sort of platform, but I just think that we have all of the answers. And I've always grasped for every possible thing that I thought had the answers, that had happiness, that had peace, that had bliss, that had all these things that all of us want, right? I think that in the end, we all just want to feel happy. And we want to feel good about ourselves, and we want to be able to strive to be better. At least, I guess I don't think everybody wants that. I don't think everybody's striving to be the best version of themselves. I think some people are just enjoying life, which is cool. That's the cool thing about this whole thing, is that you can make your goal, you can make life about whatever you want it to be about. I think my main game in life is living life in a way that allows me to like myself and love myself to the max amount every day, and leave this earth at the end without any regrets. And I've been contemplating my mortality a lot. If you follow me on social, you've seen that I've posted some things around death and around regret. And this is something that I think is the unlock. I started listening to different things. I don't even know how I got on this topic, but I started listening to something from Jesse Itzler. I think he had like a jet company that he started out with. He sold it for a shit ton of money. And then now he really has been somebody who's obsessed with growth and obsessed with getting uncomfortable and trying new things. And so he has done a lot of crazy things in his life. Ran some tons of ultra marathons, he had David Goggins come stay with him for a month, and he had to do everything that David Goggins said. And it was absolutely crazy. And that's kind of how I got onto it. He's obsessed with his own mortality. And he understands that we don't have a lot of time here. I think it's easy to think that we're all guaranteed 80, 90, 100 years on this earth. But I think the reality of all of it is that tomorrow could be your last. Today, I literally could die today, right? It's tough for people to talk about. I don't think a lot of people like talking about this, but I do, because I think that starting to understand that you don't necessarily have a long time on this earth can really encourage action. And that is what is going to get you into the best version of yourself. And so I think that a lot of these things, I've gotten into a place where I'm feeling better the last few weeks than I've ever felt in my life. And it is because I unlocked what I think is my purpose in this life. And so now my focus is a little bit more narrow. Two, I've been contemplating my mortality and just understanding that I really don't want to be like those people that sit on their deathbed and are like, God, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. I don't want to be that person that's like, kids, don't do it like I did. Make sure you chase your dream. I want to be on my deathbed and be like, guys, I fucking did it all. I went at it. I went at it 100%. You know, that unlock. You remember that year, that year I was 29 years old, and I from then on out, I swore that I was going to do everything that I wanted to do, and I was going to live without regrets. That's what I want. And that's what I think everybody should strive to. And that's why I think it's important to just think about the fact and realize that you're not guaranteed another day. You wake up, you should be grateful. Every day I wake up and I flood myself with gratitude. And the first thing is I'm grateful that I woke up today, because I heard Brad Lee say this one time. He was talking about, like, you win the lottery every morning when you wake up, which I think is huge. It's a huge just shift, and it's a huge frame to live life by. And so that is something that I've been doing a lot of. It's just like realizing, guys, we don't have a long time here. Like, even 50 years, I write down every morning, I write down the number of days I have left till the year 80, right? Assuming, I'm not assuming I get there, but just like it puts it in perspective, because it's like today, as I'm recording this, it's like 18,533 days left. And so, like, if you think of stuff in terms of 50 years, it's like, oh, 50 years, oh, that's a long time. Like, I got a long time. But when you think of it as like 18,533 days left till that year, it's like, oh shit. I feel like, for me at least, that doesn't seem like that much, right? And what about this? What if you put it in perspective like this? Let's say that you see your parents 5 times a year, right? Let's say you live away from them. You don't see them that often. You see them 5 times a year. Let's say that they have 20 years left to live. That means that you're going to see your parents 100 more times before they die. Does that spark a little bit of a something in your ass? You know, kind of like get you going in the right direction? Because I think if you can understand that, like, I was talking to my brother and I was like, and I don't think he liked this conversation that we were having about death that I was bringing up, but I kept pushing on it. And I was like, let's say that I play 20 to 30 golf rounds a year and I got 50 years left, right? That's 1,000 golf rounds left. And that's assuming that even if I were to live till 80, that I'm able to play golf until that age, right? Which is a goal of mine. And so 1,000 golf rounds, it's a little bit different than 50 years of golf rounds, right? It starts to get that fire going, it starts to get that action going. And so I would encourage you all to contemplate that and understand that we're not guaranteed another day. We're not guaranteed another week. Something could happen to us anytime, right? I think that's huge. And the last thing I have for you this week is that on my manifesto, which is like includes my vision board, my goals, my affirmations, stuff like that I look at every morning and every evening. And I have been for the last 8 weeks plus since I started that identity shifting program, which has completely changed my life. I think that's one of the biggest investments and best investments that I've made, was that investment in myself and to become the best version of myself and continue putting in that consistency. A lot of people fall off, right? You do something for a little while and then you're like, it's not working, right? But if you were to do actions as if it's going to work out in 2-3 years, then trust me, it's going to end up working out. Continue to be consistent with those things. But the last thing is, through that, there's a part of this manifesto that talks about your mentors for the next year or two, like who you're going to look up to, who you're going to consume information for. And I had a long list of people on there, like 5 or 6 people that I really look up to in a lot of different spaces. You know, guys like Ed Milet, Andy Frisella, Lewis Howes, Joe Dispenza, guys like this that I think are great people. They have a lot of great information. They have similar philosophies that I like to abide by, and they're obsessed with growth, becoming better, making a big impact in the world, like I am. And I've always been the type of person, like I said, who's always searching for other things outside. It's like, oh, the answers are outside. The answers are outside. I need to look for, they have the answer. Let's consume this podcast. Let's consume this book, all of this stuff. And what I've realized is that I know a lot of stuff. And that to whoever you are, they may sound like, oh, he's cocky, right? No, but I've realized when I have conversations with people and I give advice to people and do these things, it's like I have all the answers here. Like, there's no lack of like information that I've consumed. It's a matter of just trusting myself. And so I think it's huge to become your own mentor and understand that you have a lot of the answers inside. If you can sit with yourself and listen to those things, you're going to find a lot of things, and you're going to be able to to move in the right direction. And you're going to be able to eventually find your purpose and your passion and be able to start impacting the world and the people in it and your family and all these friends in the way that you want to. And so I would just say the last thing I'm saying today, trust yourself. Whatever you do, trust yourself. Follow your intuition. A lot of the time we can make decisions based on other things, based on emotion. But if you follow your intuition and you follow what you think is right, a lot of times you're going to be making the right decision. And so that's what I'll leave you with today. If you enjoyed this, if this was helpful, please make sure you subscribe, you like, you share this with a friend who maybe needs to hear it, who needs to hear about regret, needs to hear about their own mortality. But thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this, to listen to this. I really, truly, greatly appreciate every single one of you who watches this every week. And I hope you have a good rest of the week. And I'll be talking to you soon.